What part of mutilation did I mention? Anything physical? I'm talking about mental, emotional stress right now.
Well,
So hang tight.
hold on. Doctors don't deal with emotional and social things.
He said therapists.
Right.
No, he said
Counselors.
doctors.
I was talking about
Bullshit.
psychologists, counselors.
Psychologists are doctors.
Yes, and doctors
Do you
basically
think
specialize.
these are more, better and more significant points than the one that Scott was getting through?
Yeah, imagine the doctor. Imagine the doctor. You go, I feel
All
like
right,
a
I'll
woman.
just shut the
You
fuck
go,
up and not say anything.
It's like,
Thanks,
I
guys.
feel like a woman.
You don't have to not say anything, Angela. Just let it play out. Rather than just pick on anything you can find.
I hadn't talked for 11 minutes or 15, 20 minutes.
Oh
not
my
saying
God,
a thing,
how have
listening
you
to
heard?
everything, listening to everybody else talk, and I finally want to interject a question, and you're telling me now that I'm wasting time?
Go on then.
Now I have to wrangle it back to Scott's point again, right?
What?
I've done that 3 times.
Scott said as he was shutting off his mic that he was done talking for that. So I just brought up what I wanted to say. Wow, everybody's pick on the old guy. Okay.
Can you imagine going to a doctor, sending your kid to a doctor, and the doctor supported that your kid didn't believe in his own wiener? He's like, I don't believe it. I see it, but I don't believe it. I'm really a woman. And you think that doctor should support that thought process?
Yep.
Because
And do you think this is an actual example of what happens?
Yes, because pulling down his pants is going to determine what he really is.
But it's not going to determine how they present.
This argument is
It is really laughable, but that Dan thing, this is a real example.
If the kid needed proof, I mean, he should look.
Listen, bud, pull down your pants. That will tell you what you are. It's not hard.
It tells you wants everyone to do. She wants to pull down everyone's pants.
Yeah, it might tell you your biological sex. That's correct. It might tell you your biological sex.
Yeah,
you understand?
Your parents,
anomaly
my
or
whole
any
point
kind
is
of
your
like
parents make the decision when you
medical
get a
issue.
social security card, correct?
It's not the standard, right? There's
Yes,
male, there's female, and then there's outliers. We don't define these things by outliers.
Important to note that those outliers are also either male or female. Thank you.
Yeah, those
No, they're not.
Those
They're not. I've dated a hermaphrodite, and for you to say that she was
she
one
has
or the
neither
other,
male
she
nor
was
female
forced.
parts, right?
She was forced to identify as one or another by doctors and had no choice because she was a child.
Did she have parts of one or the other?
She had lame parts of both.
Okay.
Lame,
So
broken
she was
parts
one or
of
the
both.
other.
She was neither.
Well, that's dope.
And the thing is, if you were like a
that's what
girl
she said.
born with a dick, you'd be a freak and then look like a pervert. But you were a freak. You were stuck as a freak.
You just contradict yourself.
So freaks,
You're born with a dick. You're not a girl in the first place.
Yeah, that is the exception. You're right. But it's like, but the point is, if you're a freak, you look like a pervert. But if you're born a freak, it doesn't make you a pervert. If you were a chick with a dick, you'd have a horrible life. Trust me.
Nobody thinks a hermaphrodite is a freak.
Oh, right.
Oh, really?
You're
right. That was incredibly ignorant.
I don't know. It sounds to me like that's what you've been trying to say for like the last hour.
The word hermaphrodite exited my mouth up until right now? We haven't been talking about hermaphrodites. We've been talking about something completely different.
Yeah. If Scott is still there, I'd like to know his opinion on the irony of these people saying they want to protect the kids from this kind of like basic medical stuff, but they're perfectly fine with lying to the kids about silly religious stories that like Adam and Eve and Noah's Ark were literally true. Literally confusing and stunting the child's growth, intellectual growth, right, and making them distrust reality. So the irony shouldn't be lost.
I was going to beg on myself.
Should not be lost.
Right with you, man. Right with you.
It is definitely lost on them. Come
Santa
on.
Claus is real. Tell us.
Yeah.
You're not
for
about
years, right?
protecting the kids, though, right? Because you're literally lying to them about shit that is laughably disprovable.
Generally believe it, so it's not a lie, right?
No,
Well,
they
it's a
know
lie.
that
Tell
it's
a
all
10-year-old
bullshit.
that you have a penis.
No.
That's a lie.
They know that
religious
these
people,
silly
because you're not religious.
stories they know that these silly stories aren't true, and but they want to believe that they're true, and they want to convince their kids that the stories are true, right? So in my book, it still is a form of lying.
You're right.
Like when you're 10, you don't even have a choice to pick your own gender. That's the whole argument.
No, your laughable argument was about protecting kids from basic medical care while lying to them about religious
Genital
stories
mutilation is
that
not a basic
couldn't even
medical care.
possibly be true.
Oh, fuck.
Nothing to do with it. Non sequitur.
How does that have nothing to do? How does you lying about laughable religious stories while claiming you're trying to protect the kids, literally telling them myths that they're true, and but basic medical care you have an issue with? Like, you don't see the irony of that?
Keep calling it basic medical care. It's not that. It'll never be that either, no matter how many times you try to label it that.
Yeah, but that's what you tell yourself to justify it, right?
No,
you tell yourself it's this
what you're doing is
evil,
projecting. You're telling yourself
this
it's
Hold on.
thing.
Wait, if I could
just
please
medical care.
suggest, I don't think being given a sex hormone that you don't produce in that amount of quantity, is actually necessary. It literally doesn't contribute to your body functioning. If anything, it literally contributes to your body not functioning. That's why testosterone would sterilize me. That's why estrogen would sterilize you. Let's keep to the facts here, people.
What are you talking about? You have testosterone.
Medical
Your
care.
body produces testosterone.
Uh-huh.
My
I
body
have-
produces
Not
estrogen.
I
It
have
doesn't
about
sterilize
about
us.
1/100th of the amount of testosterone that you have in your body. If I had any
So
more,
you do
it would
have
sterilize me.
Well, yeah, are you not listening, or are you being
Yeah,
obtuse on purpose?
You didn't hear what I said. You didn't listen to what I said at all.
Stop talking over her now.
Oh, there's like a whole bunch of people talking in denial of what the real agenda is.
Yeah, all of your medical misinformation.
What box you check on your social security card for your newborn infant? Somebody help me out.
It's either male or female. That's what you showed. There's only 2 boxes.
You'll be on help.
How
Your
do you
angle.
make
that decision?
All right,
How do you make
Yangle.
that
Here. Does this help
decision?
you out? That's from the Social
Come on,
Security webpage.
That doesn't help me out.
Male
Jake,
or
at
female,
all.
your only option.
It doesn't say
Help
that
me out at
though.
all.
Does it? It says X.
You'll be on help.
There's an X designation
Male
as
or
well.
female? How do I change the sex? How do you fill it out first of all, fuckhead? Not how do I change it? Idiot.
If you can't even figure that out, you'd be on help, mate.
Yeah,
Just
it says
saying.
there's more than one choice though. There's 3 choices.
No, there's not.
It says X.
Do you look?
Male,
Piece of
female,
application
or
right there.
X.
This is the application. Right there.
Yep, and they can change it later if the kid realizes that it was
Change it.
wrong.
How do you fill that out? How do you fill that out right there?
Yeah, you don't automatically assign someone as X, you know.
Oh my fucking god, dude. You guys are just
Come on.
pathetic.
You're talking about nonsense you don't know nothing about. You're
VD,
being a Dunning
I
Kruger.
did the application, dude.
You gotta tell me, have you missed a booster or something? You've been sick for like 3 weeks. What the fuck?
I'm not sick.
You sound like you shit. Like really stuffed up.
Probably just allergies, dude.
Is it? You're
Yeah.
in the winter? Yeah.
Yeah. Pine
Yeah.
allergies, pine
And,
wood.
Yeah, it happens.
Lots of yeah.
I don't think I sound that much different.
No, you don't.
Why?
Especially when all
No.
these cold fronts keep blowing through, and then bringing in dust and pollen from all these other things, as well as just the weather.
Yeah,
think
well,
you've
VD,
sounded-
changing different.
These lying sacks of shit are just trying to, you know.
I don't know
I
about
do
you,
think
dude,
you've
but I
sounded
always get
different for the last 2 weeks. VD.
Uh-oh.
Thank you. Of course, they're not going to agree with me because you got to argue with Derp no matter what. But
I don't
thank
think
you,
he's
Derp's always dumb. Thank you for caring, though, Derp.
Derpy is.
You're welcome, Doc.
You could change it later. It doesn't say or change later. It doesn't say that.
It doesn't have to say it on that page when it does on another page.
It doesn't say it on another page.
Especially
anyone
when
here
you're
is
just changing it.
Is there
He's
anyone
not
here
asking you,
dissatisfied?
how do I... Listen, I don't know how hard this is to understand. He's not asking you, how do I go change it? He's saying when you apply for the application, it only lets you pick 2 genders.
That's fine. And they're saying that they're looking at adding another option later.
That's fine. What do you mean that's fine?
Another
What do you
option
pick?
later.
So what do you pick?
I'm a
Literally says,
Chevrolet.
currently our record systems require a sex designation of male or female, blah, blah, blah. We are examining ways to address this in the future.
How do you
I don't know why we're
find
looking
out
at
how your infant is a male or female? How do you find that out to put that down on there? How?
Well, you pick the sex based off what it looks like. That's what the doctors do. And then if the kid realizes that their gender doesn't match, I'm trying to answer you since you keep asking this question.
Oh, relax. He's answering your question, dude.
When a kid is born, they pick based off what it looks like. They don't do like genetic testing or some nonsense when you didn't do it beforehand. You just based off what it looks like. And if there's any ambiguity, then you go see a specialist. If there's no ambiguity, you check the box, and then if the kid realizes that their gender doesn't match the sex, you can change it later. And I'm sure the doctor's going to add more to that.
Are you kidding me? Are people that fucking competent? They don't know what a male or female is when it comes out of their womb?
Realize 1 in like 1,000 or maybe like 1 in 500 live
Dude,
births.
it's a real simple
You
question,
cannot
okay?
tell.
You guys keep
Hold on.
the
Listen to
whole question.
what VD's giving you some knowledge. Listen to what he's saying.
Not
It's
tell.
important.
You can do testing like ultrasound testing to see if they have
Oh,
gonads.
exactly. Ridiculous.
Or you can do
Wrong.
chromosome analysis, and sometimes that's decisive.
Women
Yeah,
have
again,
gonads. That's the
not
wrong
way
term.
it works.
Women have gonads.
You can have
That's
all the
wrong
right
term.
genes, and if they don't work,
Women have
you end up
gonads.
as the
Or
other
pretend, or how about you do what you did for thousands of years? When it's born as a male, it's a man. If it's born as a female, it's a woman. How about that?
Because that's not
So
correct.
how do you determine which people have the mental illness form of this?
It's not a mental illness. Stop it.
When it starts to affect their ability
Some
to
people
function
have it.
normally in society.
Some people
Give
have
them
mental
a test. You get
illnesses.
a male and a female in front of you, and you give them a test. You say, so a male infant and a female infant in front of them, one that has an actual dick and one that actually has a vagina, and you ask them, what's a male or female? And if they can't make up a fucking decision,
Why
they're
are you
mentally
still
fucking
on
delusional.
this? He's answered
weird.
this ages ago.
He's insane.
Calm down, y'all, Angle.
I'm so mad about other people's kids.
And there literally is a
obsessed.
mental illness too. You can't exclude it just because you don't want it there, Ness.
I don't think you can
Not a
diagnose
mental illness.
at
Stop
birth.
it. It's not been mental illness for at least 10 years now.
Okay, well, Blair White, who is trans, says that it's based on.
NASA, you're not a psychologist.
I'm talking. It's based on her having a mental illness. She says that.
Good for her.
Oh,
Okay,
I
she can
would
say that, but
have.
the psychologists don't agree with you.
Right, I think I'd have much more respect for their argument if they gave up this facade that it's about protecting kids and just stated that they think in their scriptures that it says that it's wrong to be homosexual, transsexual, transgender, all that stuff. And because of that, they think people shouldn't be doing it. If you're just honest about that,
You're breaking up,
rather than
Jace.
just
Robotic
talking about
badly,
children.
Robot.
The angels are protecting the children from you, Jace. They don't want their children to know.
Yeah, I think you got his gist, though. He's saying
Okay,
just
now-
admit that there's scripture that tells you nothing scientific.
NASA, I have a question. What about that person that thought that they were a cat and they went through so many surgeries to make themselves a cat? Is that not a mental illness that they are literally a cat?
Where did that happen?
There was a guy that.
My
There are some people that are addicted to plastic surgery.
Let him
Yeah,
be a
who
One
cat.
out of a million people have
Some
this
people
issue
want to look like a
themselves.
cat.
Some people
I think they should
pooping
be
in the
allowed
pooping
to,
in
right?
kitty litter. There's
I'm
some
asking
video
NASA
about
and
kitty
everyone's
litter in
talking
schools.
over. I'm not talking about kitty.
No,
It has
that was a myth.
nothing to do with that whatsoever. NASA, can you answer my question since you know the man I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know the man you're talking about. He had a lot of plastic surgery. So what?
Right, but do you think that that is not a mental illness, that he's literally a cat?
I'm unaware with his psychological state. Since I really don't know.
Are you
Fair enough.
talking about the guy that got himself
difference would it-
tattooed and had the implants done with
Robot.
in some
You're
way.
roboting.
That self is
Hyper.
a spectrum, okay?
Miss,
Sorry.
They can
what
definitely show up in
difference
the
would
bathroom and look at their genitals.
Miss? What difference would it make if we labeled a mental illness or not? Why
I'm
do you
just
need
asking.
that? Why do you want? But why do you want that label? Why does it matter to you?
I don't want anything. According to Blair White, there is also a mental illness that causes people to have
That's
body
true.
dysphoria and that they don't
That
want to
would
be.
make it medical.
That's
I
true,
know,
Master Shield. That's true.
I can't
Let her say her fucking piece.
God damn, y'all. Too hungry. Anyway, according to her, she feels like she knows for a fact that she has a mental illness. So I think that it is a factor if this is true. That's all.
A factor of what though?
Which makes it medical.
But how will it change how we treat other people or how we
I'm not.
respond to other people?
It has nothing to do with how we're going to treat people.
That
So
doesn't make it medical
how do,
and psycho.
Bro, just be nice.
but how does calling something a mental illness change anything?
Because I mean, it's hard to determine who is literally one way and who is really just having something that is not normal. I mean, that's the whole point. And having out there for mental illnesses.
Yeah,
But
actually, I
flat
already
Earth-
defined this
flat
earlier,
Earth-
bro. Like, you can have your own construct. As soon as you try to force those things on other people with physical consequences, then it's a fucking mental
Oh,
illness.
hold on.
And
Miss, you were
who's
talking like there were two categories. Someone who really has something and then another. What are those categories?
That's what I'm saying. If
Thank you,
it's
Slacker.
not Jesus, if it's not all a mental illness and there's a separation there with some people that have body dysmorphia and it's a real mental illness versus those that feel like that they were born in the wrong body. I think that that's possible that there are two. How do you distinguish the difference? And how would you go about not enabling someone in a mental illness?
But that's what I'm getting at. I think you just described the same thing twice with different words.
No, didn't.
Oh, so you think they're all a mental illness?
I think it doesn't matter if you call it a mental illness or not. If you want to call dysmorphia a mental illness, and even that's just a spectrum of I don't feel like this is me to I'm feeling severe emotional psychological pain based off having this body. That's a span of things, and it's all the same kind of thing.